This is part 2 of the Silk Naturals Spring 2013 collection. Part 1 was all the lip products and the cream blush and cream bronzer. And in this part, I'm going to show you all of the cream eyeshadows. I thought I would start off by showing you a look that I did with the cream eyeshadows. And I have Tribeca, which is a beautiful gold on this part of my lid, like the first half. And then I have Midtown, which is a spring golden green, kind of like here. And then on the outer corner and in the crease, I have Highrise, which is an emerald green. And I also put Ozone. I tried to use that as a highlight underneath my brow and then right in the inner corner. And that one is a sheer, pearly, it looks silver, but it ends up looking just white on my skin. So what I'm going to do first is show you the color through the bottom of the container, which is clear so you can see it up close. And I'm going to describe all the colors to you that way. And then in that same order, which I'm also going to write down below the video, all the names of all the colors in that same order. That's how I'm going to swatch them all on my arm, and I'll show you video footage of all the swatches on my arm here in front of the window and then also outdoors in the sunlight using just the applicator so I get a nice thick pigmented swatch so you can see the true color. And then last but not least, I'm going to show them to you on my arm but blended out so you can see if you were to apply it just one layer and just blend it out, you know, how sheer would it be and what is the, you can really see the finish better, I think, blended out than in a heavy swatch. I will also link all the blog posts that I have of this collection below so you can see photographs of all the swatches if you want. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the cream eyeshadows in general. I'm going to talk about the formula, how they work, how they last on me, just what I think of them in general. And this is a brand new product. This is the first time Silk Naturals released cream eyeshadows. Previously, they've only had gumballs, which is kind of how they test out like a select number of products they'll release as gumballs. And then they'll wait to hear, you know, what people think of them, what people say about them. So at the end of the video, I'll talk about these more in detail. I'll talk about applying them to your eye, how I do it, what works well for me, and just kind of all that sort of information. So the first color I'm going to show you is called Ozone. And Ozone looks like a silver, a very light silver, and it gives you just a light pearly sheen. This color is called Soho, and it's a very nice light taupe, and it has a nice pearly sheen to it, but it does not have shimmer. This next color is called Metro, and it is a silver. It's somewhat similar to Ozone, but it's a little bit more silver, and it's pearly with just very fine shimmers. This color is called Gramercy, and it is a somewhat warm brownish taupe, and it has very fine shimmer. The color is called Brownstone. It's a chocolate brown, and it has a pearly finish that's not super shiny. This color is called Gotham, and it is a darker taupe than Soho with a little bit more black to it, and it has a pearly, almost metallic finish. This color is called Grand Central, and it is a metallic gold. This color is called Penthouse. It is a peachy beige, and the finish of this, it has the lowest shine. It's the closest to being matte. It's not matte, but it's more of like a low sheen pearl. This color is called Sunnyville, and it is a rosy light peach with some fine shimmer to it. Here is the first set of the cream eyeshadow swatches indoors. And here is the first set of cream eyeshadows outdoors in the sunlight. This is what the colors look like when they are blended out. This is all the colors blended out in the sunlight. Pashmina is a light ballerina pink with a purple iridescence to it. Astoria is a light lilac purple. It's somewhat similar to Pashmina, just a little bit more purple looking. Tribeca is a beautiful light yellow with lots of iridescence to it. Midtown is a pearly golden spring green. Highrise is a metallic emerald. Roxbury is a pearly turquoise. Here is the second set of cream eyeshadows, Indoors by a Window, and Sunnyville right there is repeated, so you could see it next to the pink. Here's the next set of cream shadows in the sunlight. So here are all the swatches indoors first, and I repeated Sunnyville from the previous set just so you could see it compared to the pink. And here they all are in the sunlight. Brighton is a pearly baby blue with a little bit of turquoise to it. Fleet Week is a blackened bluish purple with some very fine shimmer. Electric is a bright metallic dark blue. Blackout is a matte black. Here are all the swatches Indoors by a Window, and that first shade Roxbury is repeated from the last set, so you could see it both next to the greens and the blues, since it's kind of a teal blue-green. Here are all the swatches in the sunlight. And here they all are. I repeated Roxbury since it's kind of a blue-green, so you could have seen it next to the greens, and now you can see it next to the blues. There they are in the sunlight. So now that you've seen all those swatches, let me talk about the eyeshadows a little bit. I personally love these. They're a little bit different than your typical cream eyeshadow, or liquid eyeshadow rather. So they have a consistency that is, it's not runny like water. As you can see, you know, it's staying on the applicator, but it is kind of creamy soft. So my favorite way to apply them is to just take the applicator. If there's like a chunk of eyeshadow on the applicator, I obviously wipe that off, but you know, just make sure there's normal amount and just kind of dot it on your eye and just take your finger and pat it dry until it feels dry to you, just to blend it out and to apply it in an even layer. And that works perfectly for me. That's what I do, and that's how I did this look today. These eyeshadows dry to a powdery dry finish, so they don't make the best bases. If you want like a tacky base to stick your, you know, dry or powder eyeshadows to, these are not that. These are more of like their own, like their eyeshadows on their own rather than a base. You could certainly put eyeshadows over them and that'll work, but they're not going to stick the way they would to like a tacky base that is meant for that. Also, very dissolvable with water. They do last really well on my eyes. They last pretty much the whole day as long as there's no water present. And so most days it's not a problem for me at all. Obviously if it's raining, if I'm going to the pool, or like if you're sweating or if your eyes are watery, you're gonna have a problem with these. But on your typical, you know, dry day, these actually last incredibly well on my eye, especially considering that they're natural and they don't have that sort of adhesion that like the non-natural eyeshadows that really are bulletproof and they stick to your eye and you have to like scrape them off at the end of the day. These just rinse off so easily with water, so it's amazing washing them off at the end of the day because it's so easy. And one thing that's really cool that you can do because they dissolve so easily with water is after you put them on your eye, and I did do this today, you can clean up the shape of the, you know, the eyeshadow by just using a wet Q-tip. So let me demonstrate real quick on my hand. So you could just take a wet Q-tip and you can just wipe away any eyeshadow that's there. If you want to make like a sharp line or kind of a more sharp angle, or just clean up some excess that may have, you know, if you blended it a little bit too far out or something. So it's really neat. You can make, you know, cool shapes, cool designs even by doing this. So just a really neat product, and I'm really excited that Silk Naturals made these. And my favorite color is probably Tribeca because I love light yellow colors. And like I already said, I do have that on like the inner half of my eye today, but I love it. It's so pretty. It's not glittery or shimmery. It's just like a nice, you know, very fine shimmer, and it kind of has the iridescence to it too, so it's really pretty. So that is it. Check out part 1 of this video to see the lip products and cream blushes if you're interested in that. And do check out my blog posts, which I'll link below as well if you're interested in seeing some photographs of the swatches as well as what some of these products look like on me.